1-1 is lifted to left field, chasing Chad Crosby back to the track, to the wall. It's off the scoreboard. Peter Serruto with a 2-run shot to left.
Welcome, everybody. We've got a great Jersey baseball show for you today. We are talking with one of the high school stars of New Jersey over the 2010s, Pete Serruto, Millburn High School class of 2018. He's got a new environment this year, transferred from Rutgers at the end of last year. He's a Big Ten rival. He's coming to us live from Bloomington, Indiana, campus of Indiana University, and we'll talk some Hoosiers, we'll talk some Big Ten, and we'll talk the decision to head out to the Midwest. So welcome, Pete. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to connect with us.
Yeah, thanks a ton for having me. Really excited to get going here.
Yeah, absolutely. Millburn High School, the legendary Coach Chapman. Shout it out to him and hopefully Matt watching us. I know before we were got too far into our conversation, we were talking a little bit about Matt, who's all grown up now and almost ready to make the college choice himself. But, what do you remember about the high school days, first of all?
Coach Chapman, just being probably the best baseball influence in my career, or, just from a young age, 8th grade on, really took me under his wing. And he just made playing the game really fun and enjoyable. And he took the little things and he kind of just laid it all out for me, and I think I'm the player I am today because of Coach Chapman and Coach Drexel and all the coaches at Millburn. It's unbelievable environment, and we're successful for a reason because we have really good parents and coaches from a young age. Good little league system brings us up, and Chappie's the best in the business, and we got 2 rings there in my 4 years. For we didn't get lucky. We got it for a reason.
That's right. That's right. So tell us about your first year now at Indiana. Some of the adjustments. It's obviously we're in the Midwest now. We're out of Jersey for really the first time. But you're going from big school to having to learn another big campus on the fly. Obviously, Rutgers was kind of knew your way around there before you even got to school there. But now it's all kind of new again, right?
Yeah, it was definitely when I got here in the summer. Kind of felt like a freshman again, like navigating the whole campus. Obviously being in Indiana, the landscape's a lot different. The people are a lot different. So it took a little bit of getting used to. People are a lot nicer out here. That's kind of what I've noticed. The traffic's a little slower.
Unanimous answer, I think, from everybody that's had Midwest experience that we've had on is that.
Yeah, but kind of after a week and a half, 2 weeks, it really just became home, and really enjoying it out here. Really good environment, both off and on the field.
Yeah, for sure. How much of an adjustment was it to the baseball program? Again, new coaches, just kind of having to learn a new situation there. What was the toughest thing for you to get used to?
Well, I mean, every program runs differently, and kind of just the first few practices I had under Coach Mercer, I realized, wow, this is an incredible environment. There's a reason why this program's been so successful, and just kind of the way things are run around here. Everything's first class. Everything's very detail oriented, and not that I never had that. It was just very, very comforting and very everybody's all in here, and I feel like I'm in a really good spot and have a great relationship with all the coaches here.
And obviously a pedigree of NCAA tournament appearances in recent, over the last decade or so. Got to feel like that's certainly kind of minimum level of expectations going into the year, right?
Absolutely. Obviously we don't try to look too ahead. We don't try to talk about Omaha too much, but we realized 2013 wasn't too long ago, when the Hoosiers
No.
won the World Series, and
Mhm.
we know it's very attainable, and it gets back to our preparation, going in every day, getting our early work in, getting our drill work in, and then stepping out on the field. We see all the previous teams and all their success and all their Big Ten titles and College World Series appearance. So we know it's possible. It's not out of the question, and it's expected that we're going to play in the postseason. It's just a matter of how hard we're going to put our heads down and go to work each and every day.
Yep, yep. Now coming out of Millburn, 2018, one of the best high school defensive catchers that New Jersey had seen in years. Drafted by the Reds, 22nd round. We were saying it was seemed pretty high, and it was pretty high at the time. There is no more 22nd round, but certainly at a point where it wasn't like you were just a high school flyer. That's a pretty legitimate spot for a high school guy to get picked. The defense has always been there. Still, one of the best defensive catchers, over the time at Rutgers in the Big Ten and in the country. Is it really kind of the offensive side of the game that, we can do the math. We know you were out, could have been drafted last year and probably thought it was a decent shot, and certainly got to be one of the goals this year. Is that really the place where you need to show that that level of performance to make your dreams happen?
Absolutely. Make no mistake about it. I pride myself in my defense, and I think I'm the player I am because of my defense.
Hmm.
Guys like John Kroger, guys like Ani Ramos from a young age really instilled defense into me. Um, and Even working with guys like Jorge Solodkin, just different catching guys. And John Kroger's been an incredible influence on me on that side of the ball as well as my offense. But yeah, at this point in my career now, I'm gonna hang my hat on my defense. But as soon as I got here, getting with Coach Mercer and Coach Weatherford and Coach Simmons, all of our offensive coaches here, I feel like I've really taken off offensively, and I've made really really big strides throughout the fall. Getting my exit velocity numbers up, getting more consistent, hitting the ball hard, and just producing. And I feel very free, very loose, and very confident at the plate. And I think the element of confidence and just being free and easy just like has allowed me to take off with the bat in my hands, because I've had that behind the plate. Now I just want to do it on both sides of the ball, and I feel like I'm at that point in my career right now.
Definitely. Yeah, and you did mention something I think that we should probably touch on a little bit. New Jersey's got some pretty darn good catching instructors, right? I mean, like you said, you mentioned Ani Ramos and John JT Kroger. Um, he's learning from some of the best too.
Oh yeah, Coach Kroger has been there for me. That's someone I owe, you know, all my success to. We would hit on Christmas morning with snow on the ground and Millburn High School cages in high school. Like, we would do our defensive work back there. Like, that guy has always been there for me. I owe everything to that guy. Coach Kroger is the man. There's a reason why he's had so many players go through him. Not only catchers, the guy lives New Jersey baseball, and I think he's the face of New Jersey baseball. He's
Certainly the encyclopedia of it anyway.
incredible, and Ani as well. His catching academy, just it's a factory of really good catchers up there, and those guys are awesome, and they're still part of my career right now. I stay in touch with both of them.
You came around 20 years too late, because back then you didn't have to show you showed what you show on the defensive side. Somebody's taking you quickly. Now everybody's got to hit bombs, right? I mean, that's just the modern baseball, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say you're joking, but you're right.
Oh, I know.
You got to produce with the bat in your hand. I've learned that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I still value blocking a ball with a runner on third base, saving a game,
Yep.
or keeping a guy at first base, back picking a guy. I think that changes an entire game, and especially being a leader. But I got to do it on both sides of the ball, and I think being at Indiana has really really helped me kind of learn that and learn what it takes to be successful, and put my body in the right position, to put my head in the right headspace. And I feel like I'm definitely at the height of my career on both sides of the ball. right
So
now.
you mentioned obviously just there. I mean, it couldn't have been easy for you to, Rutgers. You're a Jersey guy, obviously. You still are. Started pretty much from day one at Rutgers as a freshman. I mean, obviously no catcher plays every game, but certainly got the majority of the time for 2 years plus a COVID year. It was a place you'd committed to early in your high school career. How difficult was it for you to come to the realization that this was something that you had to do, and what went into the decision to transfer?
Well, it was extremely difficult. Like you said, I was, committed there at such a young age. Committed to Joe Laterio, played under him my freshman year. He's an unbelievable baseball mind, great coach. Um, and then obviously played for, a different coaching staff my sophomore, junior year. I love Rutgers. They were great to me. I had a great 3 years there. It just kind of came down to what's best for my career long term. Little change of scenery, and I really want an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament and get to the next level and play meaningful baseball in the month of June. And I think I have a really good opportunity to do that at Indiana. And I like the relationships I have currently, and I'm very comfortable with where I'm at. But as far as the decision went, it was definitely difficult. Being a Jersey guy, I still pull for them, and I still have some of my best friends still go there. So it's it's tough. Still talk to a bunch of those guys, but like I said, I had to kind of do what was best for my career and make the move.
Sure, obviously hope it. Certainly the arrow is trending upwards there. I'm sure you hope that your guys follow through on that, and this could be the year for them to break through too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, absolutely.
Uh, so, what's the one thing you miss most about New Jersey?
Man,
You said everybody's nicer out in the Midwest.
the food, no question about it. And that there's no one specific food. It's just the food in general. um, that's one thing I will say. Midwest lacks cuisine, but I think the food in my family for sure. My
Yeah,
my dad's been, my whole career in all three sports I played growing up. And he was at every practice, every game when I was at Rutgers, just 40 minutes away. So now I'm halfway across the country. It's kind of hard for him to be there every single day, every day for me. But
sure.
I'm on the phone with him 4 times a day, and
Yeah, it's a lot easier than when I went to school out
yeah,
in the Midwest.
exactly.
Are they going to be able to get out to at least weekend games or selected weekends or?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think some of our non-conference games down south they're gonna head to, and they're gonna come out here for a couple Big Ten series down the stretch.
We're under a month from opening day, and certainly going to be even less than that by the time when this airs. Where are we opening weekend?
We're at Clemson opening series.
So you're not opening with anybody big or anything like that, then?
No, no, it's going to be a great opportunity for us. We're not kind of phased by any of the outside competition. We're worried about. Coach Mercer likes to say, don't look at the laundry, don't look at the other name on the other team's chest. We're worried about ourselves, and we trust our abilities, and we're very confident uh, in our pitching staff and our offense and our defense. And I think we're in a really good position to do some damage early
Yeah,
on.
and it's also a 3 month, 4 month, depending on how far you go, process. I mean, you got to be building towards something. Nobody wins anything by peaking on you want to come out strong, but you can't being at your best on February 18th and having nowhere to go. I don't know that that's the best thing either.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. We know what our end goal is, and if one weekend isn't going to define that for us. But make no mistake, we're not going to come out there not prepared, not fully ready. We're going to be ready to go opening day.
Let's talk a little Big Ten baseball. The addition of schools like Maryland, from the Big Ten that I know, the addition of schools like Nebraska, certainly Rutgers, and now some of the talent in the state of New Jersey that wasn't a thing in the Big Ten when I was there. do people not fully appreciate or understand how good the conference is now?
I think the conference is loaded, and I think we saw that last year with COVID. We had a Big Ten only season, and there was so much parity within the conference. It was so close. The middle pack of the Big Ten was so close.
Hmm.
I don't know if they did a study, but the amount of one-run games or like two-run games that we saw throughout the conference was incredible. I feel like every game was tight.
Every
And
game was a walk-off, it seemed like, right?
it was a lot like it was crazy. So the Big Ten is very competitive, 1 through 13. Um, I don't think there's an easy week where you can, okay, we're playing this team you got to be on your A game every week. And I think being at Rutgers for 3 years, being in the trenches in the middle of it, I kind of have that Big Ten experience that I can bring here. I know what it takes. It's a grind. Like I said before, there's no easy week. There's no off week. You gotta be ready to go. Pitching, defense, and offensively every week.
Yeah. You guys went from winning 2 out of 3 at Michigan and sweeping Nebraska last year, and now all of a sudden people thinking that this could be the breakthrough, and then having some struggles at home against teams that are certainly good, but not at the level of those two programs. And it's every weekend is you got to bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of it's baseball too. Anything can happen. So we even saw last year a 7-run lead isn't going to do you much. Like you gotta put the gas on. You gotta keep going. There's no let up or anything like that late in the game. You can't just bring in one of your relievers. No, you gotta keep going.
Yeah, for sure. Favorite memory of your high school years? I mean, obviously the state titles are going to stand out, but anything that was kind of you were most proud of.
Uh, I think my junior year when we won Group 4 my junior year, because when we won it my freshman year, I was a young kid. I didn't really know the magnitude of winning a state championship, what that really felt like. But being my junior year, doing it again, just seeing everybody's reaction afterwards, pouring water on Coach Chapman, and I got to hold up the trophy too. That was a really cool moment. That's a moment I'll never forget. Um, Definitely that moment winning Group 4 against a good Hunterdon Central team my junior year, facing really good arms that whole state tournament, just dominated them like game in, game out. We just didn't give up. We scored like 10 runs on Division 1 arms every week. So
Yeah,
it's just a testament to Chappie having like, not necessarily having a roster full of Division 1 talent, just a roster full of Chappie ball players, guys that are really tough and gritty.
tough guys. Yeah, definitely. So, what was the first moment you realized in the fall that you're not at Rutgers anymore?
It's a good question. It's probably when I walked in the locker room for the first time, walked in the Bart Kaufman Field. It's the Taj Mahal. It's unbelievable. It's facilities that we didn't really have at Rutgers. It's full clubhouse, stadium, video board, indoor hitting facility right at the field, and that's a lot of tools and gadgets that we didn't have, and a lot of access to a lot of metrics and technology, and that was kind of a difference maker. I don't think facilities and all the all the metrics kind of changed. You still gotta take the field and play baseball, but I think it certainly adds an element of reaching the next level.
Sure. Now we're halfway through the school year. It's, I don't want to say the easy half. It's the because in a lot of ways it's not. It's the grind half. Do you feel like you've progressed enough? You're kind of at the point where you want to and feel like you need to be to take that final step individually.
Absolutely. I think right as I was reflecting after the fall, I wanted to go in here and really develop as an offensive player. And looking back after the fall, reflecting, I felt that way. I felt like I really made some strides, and just talking to my coaches, like that's kind of what I wanted to do, and I did it. And now it's just like you have to keep going. In the winter, I was in the facility every day back home in Jersey. and just kind of catching the pro guys there and hitting every day really developed. And at this point, my swing's my swing. I've developed it. Now you just got to put it out on the field and play.
Where do you work out when you're home?
I worked at the Annex in Chatham with Mickey Bruckner. Worked out with a bunch of really, really high level Jersey guys like Jack Leiter, Gordon Graceffo, Jack Carey, Nick
I heard
Maldonado.
these guys.
Yeah. So it was great to work out with those guys. And
Yeah,
um,
and certainly a great place. They're awesome, right? I mean,
Oh.
you know,
my biggest regret is not going to Mickey and the Annex sooner. You know, I think this was the best winter as far as development I've had, both physically and baseball performance wise.
definitely. Well, we
Big
will be
shout out.
pulling for you. We will be pulling for you most weekends of the Big Ten year. You definitely, but your team most of the time. You know, good to. We certainly appreciate you taking a few moments. Where's the? I guess one last question. When you're home, or when you got home, where was the first place you went?
First place I went to go get food is Millburn Deli. I went right there. That was the first meal I had. Got a Godfather, and if you're a Jersey guy, listen to this. Like, you got to get to the Millburn Deli if you haven't. My mom actually just shipped me out like 3 sandwiches today, which was a great surprise. But
This is the best package you got, right? That's the best.
exactly.
That's awesome. So Millburn Deli, we'll hype them a little bit. We have to get up there ourselves then and try it.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. So we missed it. We got to find a place that has authentic Jersey food. Put them out there, and you'll run us out of business. Is kind of what we're saying.
Absolutely. You gotta. I think they'd have a lot of success out here.
Definitely. Pete, thank you so much for taking some time. Pete Serruto, our guest today. We will certainly be looking forward to watching you this year, seeing how the season goes for the Hoosiers, see your production, and hopefully when it gets to July, we hear your name called and get you going on the pro side.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. That's it for today's Jersey Baseball Show. We look forward to catching everyone next time.